An accused drug dealer is in federal court here in Jacksonville on drug charges that resulted in the death of a young woman. Ronald Johnson is an Arlington man charged with selling heroin to 23-year-old Shelby Wagerman, a cocktail waitress at Passions, an adult entertainment club on the South Side. She died from an overdose a little more than a year ago. News 4 Jax reporter Scott Johnson has been in the courtroom following this case. He's joining us from the federal courthouse. Scott?
So, Tom, the big question in court here at the federal courthouse is, should he be responsible for selling her drugs? A couple days before her death, she died. Those drugs, those same drugs, were found in her system. But the big question is, were they exactly the drugs he sold her? These are some artist renderings from court where Ronald Johnson is charged with selling her those drugs on September 15th of last year to Shelby Wagerman. She died a couple days later for having fentanyl in her system. So one thing that was talked about was the prosecutors tracked his cell phone movement. I want to show you a little map from his home over on Monument Road near the Regency Mall over to where she was working on Passions Gentlemen's Club. This was a couple days before she died. But right now, this is in the hands of the judge to determine whether or not this will all go to the jury, because the defense wants some of these charges thrown out because they say you can't prove that the drugs found in her system at the time of the autopsy were the exact same drugs that he sold her a couple days before. The defense is saying she was around some other drug users in those couple days. Maybe they sold her some other drugs. So that will be key. They will be back here tomorrow morning at 10 when we learn whether or not a jury will make this decision or the judge throws out the charges saying you can't prove the drugs in her system were supplied by Johnson. We're live at the federal courthouse. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.